Hi there, Chad here from Chibi AI. In this video, I'm going to go through a tutorial that I just posted that showcases how to create, I'll call them short form blog posts. They're essentially blog posts that can be anywhere from around maybe 700 to 1500 words. Kind of depends. And you'll see what I mean here in just a moment. But what we're going to do is we're going to follow the tutorial and we're going to create an action that creates these blog posts for us. And I hope to showcase why this is something that's really powerful inside of Chibi, because once you have this action created, you've got something that's ready to help you craft these really high quality short form blog posts pretty quickly. And I prefer to refer them as short form blog post drafts because I firmly believe that we're going to collaborate with AI to create the content, but we're also going to put our own experiences into it, take on the role of the editor and do some editing to make sure that the final result is something that we truly want to publish to our readers. So what I'm going to do first, though, to get started is I told you that I created a tutorial on how to do this. So I'm going to show you how to get to it here from the support widget. We'll go to open it up, and then down here we'll go to articles. We'll go over to tutorials, and I got this creating a short form blog post. Let's click on that one. And now we have this open. So we can have this open just directly here inside of Chibi, or you can go to the help center, go to help.chibi.ai, and you can view it on the website there. So we're just going to follow the instructions here. What we're going to do is create an action that creates these short form blog posts for us. And we'll just go down here to step 1, initial setup. So we've already got Chibi open. We're going to create a new action. Okay, so I'm going to create that inside of testing here. Create a new action. And it says give it the task, give it the name. Let's see, what do we got? Generate short blog posts. All right, let's just do that. Generate short blog post. If I can type. All right, and we'll just hit next. And step 2 says gathering your input. So we're going to add and ask for multitask. Okay, so I can come up here to the filter task. I can do just type in here ask, and here's ask for multi. Let's go ahead and add that. It says add these input fields. We got blog topic, so we'll put that in here. Blog topic. We'll put it in there exactly as it has it written. There's no space between blog and topic there. And what's the main topic of your blog post? Let's just go ahead and copy this and put that right there. Let's add another one, and we're going to put target audience here, and we're going to say, what is your audience? Let's add another one. We're going to copy main message, put that here. What is the main message? Put that there. And one more is a call to action. And we can copy this and put it right here too. Okay, so ask for multi. What this does is when the action runs, you're going to get a pop-up. And since this is multi, it's going to have a few boxes available for you to fill in. In this case, we're going to have a blog topic, target audience, main message, and a call to action block that will appear when you run this action. And this is an important part of the step because, or sorry, I should say an important part of the action, because this is where we get to sort of infuse the AI with our information, our knowledge, our experience, the stuff that we want to write about, the things that we know about our target audience, and then the call to action, what we want them to do from this. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a purchase of a product or anything like that. It's just, maybe it could be go read another one or of our blog posts or something else, right? But this gives us the ability to kind of have some control over this and also add our knowledge and expertise rather than doing something more generic like you might see in typical prompting, where it's like write a blog post about and then you get sort of a generic result, right? This lets us have more control. So I'm just going to go ahead and close the ask for multi. We're done with that one. We're going, the next step says creating the outline. So we're going to add a run prompt task. So I'm going to come up here, click on plus sign here to add a task. I'm going to choose run prompt. Let's go ahead and open that up. And then it says set the task name to generate blog post outline or post outline. All right. So let's go here to settings so that we can see the task name. We're going to put that here, and it says set its task variable name to blog outline. So let's put that there. And then in the prompt field, this is the prompt it wants us to use. Now, the thing about prompts is, you know, we should probably all kind of fine tune and craft our prompts to more specifically fit what it is that we're specifically trying to accomplish, right? This prompt is just an example. And the point is to show you what you can do with it, but also that we're taking advantage of the context that we're passing from Ask for Multi. If we open that back up, notice that we're passing blog topic, target audience, main message, and call to action. We're putting those to use here, right? So actually there's one in there, it's called key points. Key points to include. Yeah, so I noticed a little bit of an error with my tutorial. That's okay. Let's just take this out for now. Did I call to action target audience? Yeah. All right. Oops. So we got their target audience, blog topic, main message, call to action. It's all in use. Okay. So we got that cleaned up. And I'll fix that in the tutorial as well. This prompt right here is just giving the AI the instructions, right? So what you'll want to do is come into here and kind of fine tune that for your needs. And one example of that might be using a blueprint. Like this says optional, use a blueprint if you want more control over the outline's structure. In this video, I'm not going to use that, but keep in mind that if you have a really particular way that you like your outlines to be formatted and structured, then creating a blueprint to set that up will give you even more reliable results, some really good results. So let's move on. We've got to set some AI options here. So let's go into the settings. Since we're doing a run prompt, we're going to be using AI. So we want to make sure that we're setting up the AI to do what it is that we want. So right now the option is current role. This says change it to custom AI settings. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. And then it says we got to pick a model. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the Gemini Flash 8B. Then under instructions, so you get sort of a default set here with Chibi AI. Let's go ahead and remove that. This gives us some instructions to try here. So let's go ahead and copy those and we'll put them in there. So the thing about these instructions here, what you're going to want to kind of pay attention to is this is where you can put things in there like tone and style, like you're setting up your voice, giving the AI a persona, so to speak. In this case, we're drafting an outline, so we probably don't want it to be overly, creative and, go straight outside the lines of what it is that we're aiming for. So we probably don't want it to write in like a dark tone, all these other things. But just as an example, you just get to set everything up here really nicely. Let's go ahead and open up the AI controls here. It says set the temperature to 0.7, which is the default. We'll set the max length it says to 800 tokens. It doesn't really matter here. As long as you set this to be enough, and I'll just leave it around 1500, enough to actually write out the full outline that you're aiming for. Okay. And we'll go ahead and just close those back up. Our AI settings are done. We're done creating the post outline. Now we'll move on to step 4, where we're going to do an outline review. Okay, so one thing to note is this right here, generate post outline, is a run prompt. And what that means is that Chibi's going to go run, do the AI stuff, and generate the outline. And and then just pass it on to other tasks. Since it's run prompt, it's not going to write it into your document. That's what the stream prompt does. We're going to use that a little bit later. But what we want is the ability to review that outline before we move on to write the blog post, right? So we're going to add a pause for review task, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to add task. I'm just going to go up here and type pause, or just PAU, pause for review. All right, let's click on that. And it says set it to review and refine outlines. So we'll put that there. And then we'll have approved outline as the task variable name. Notice as I change this task variable name and such that those are changing here, right? This gives us the ability to use these later in our prompts and stuff. It says turn on use a custom source and enter blog outline. Okay, so blog outline is actually being generated in this step above it, right? So what we're gonna do is we can just click here, which copies that to our clipboard. Then we can turn on the custom source like it says what it wants us to do, and we can put that in here. And what this does is when this pauses for us to review, it's going to contain the results of the blog outline task that run before it. Okay, so this is all done. We can go and close this down. Moving on to step 5, generating the full post. It says add a stream prompt task. So let's go up here to add another task. Stream prompt is the very first one. And then let's open this up. I'll come down here and just copy this prompt here first and put this in here. So it says that we're going to create a short blog post following the approved outline and context. So we got outline, so we got approved outline. Notice that that's coming after our pause. So when this action runs and it generates the outline and it pauses and it gives us a chance to look it over, make some adjustments and changes, and then when we hit continue, that approved outline will show here. Then we have our blog topic. We got this key points again. Let's go ahead and clean this up. I'll get that tutorial cleaned up as well. And then what we've got left is that it's just giving this more information and guidance and context to finish writing that blog post. The key thing to remember here is, and the reason that we call this the short blog post action, is because that it's trying to generate the entire blog post in one task. That means like one call to the AI. Given all this context, it's going to try and write that much. If you have any experience in the AI space, you'll know that a lot of times AI models don't really like to write a ton of content in one run. And so this is a tutorial showing how to get a nice, really high quality result out of about 700 to 1,000 word. Sometimes it can go longer and further word blog post or something from this strategy. Now, this is only just one strategy, and we can do all kinds of different things inside of Chibi to produce longer form content. But those are for another tutorial. All right, so we got our prompt in there. It says set the task name to generate full post. So let's just copy this. Let's go into our settings and not prefix, but down here to task name. Put that in there. We'll copy this blog post. It says set the task variable name to blog post. And then prompt. Okay, we've already got that. And then we're going to change the AI settings to custom again here. It says choose a capable model. What I'm going to do is I'm going to choose Gemini Flash again. The reason that I'm choosing Gemini Flash 1.5 is because it's very, very cheap. It's also very fast. And during the testing and buildup of this, we can use a cheaper model like this to get our results while we work. Once we're happy with the way the action is working, we can bump this up to more capable models. So it says set the temperature to 0.7, and that's already the default. What I'm going to do is copy this for the instructions and replace the Chibi ones. You're an expert at writing concise, valuable blog posts that maintain the focus throughout. Again, this is where you would establish tone, brand voice. You kind of establish the persona of the AI, how you want it to write for you. If you already have a role that does this perfectly for you, then you could change this to select a role instead and just pick that role. And that's a very powerful capability in Chibi as well. Instead of having to recreate these instructions for every task and you already have a role that performs exactly what you want, you can just use that role instead. A lot of times I prefer to show off using custom AI settings because that means that anytime I go back to use this action, it's always going to perform the same exact way. Because think about like this for a second. If you set this to use a role, which is perfectly valid, it's an excellent use case for roles, and you're getting great results, but then one day, you make an adjustment to that role, but you didn't think ahead about what it might do to this action. The next time you run this action, it's going to use that adjusted role because you made adjustments, you made changes to that role, and you might get different types of results, right? And that might be perfectly fine for you as well. That could be a way for you to iterate on your voice and stuff like that. And if that's what you're looking for, that's perfect. I'm just kind of showcasing that using custom settings like this is a way to sort of hard code this action, this task in the action to always perform this way. So that's why we do it there like that. Let's just go ahead and check and make sure that we got enough length on the here. Let's just bump this up a little bit more. We'll make it about 3,000-ish or so. The nice thing about the Google Flash model is it's got a lot of context capability. And everything else, good to go. So now what we need to do is, that's pretty much it, isn't it? All right, so let's see, using the action. All right, so let's just go ahead and save this. And it says you run the action, then you provide the information, you review the outline, and then the post will be written into the document. Okay, so I'm just gonna close the tutorial here for a second, and we're gonna run this action. So we get our pop-up. The blog topic is pineapple is the best pizza topping. You may or may not agree. Let's see, pizza enthusiasts who really dislike pineapple on pizza. Main message, let's see. I know the world is against me on this, but I love pineapple on pizza. Of course, you'd provide more details, and we'll just say try it. You provide all the details you can. You don't have to skimp here. Go into as much. In fact, the more detail that you go into, especially about like your audience and the main message and stuff like that, especially if you have your own unique information on the topic, put that in there, add that in so that it becomes a part of your blog post as well. But for demo purposes, here we go. Let's just put this in there. So you can see right now it's generating the outline. When this is done, it's going to pause and we're going to get a chance to review this outline. And we're looking this over. My personal pizza journey, skepticism to devotion. All right, cool. All right, I think that's probably a good enough one. All right, so we'll go up here and hit continue, and it'll move down, and then it'll start generating the content of our blog post to see how many words we actually get out of this. Looks like it probably didn't go too far, 800 words or so. We do have a title here that it gave us, so we can just swap that. So we got about 800 words in our post here. So go ahead and open up our tutorial here again. It says using blueprints for structure control. Now, blueprints are something that we kind of invented here in Chibi. We call them blueprints. We have the Chibi blueprint language that we call it, and it's this sort of it's like a mixture of formatting and structure and kind of prompt in one. And so here below we have, for the final post, we have title, write an engaging introduction, section headings, conclusion, and next steps. Notice here how it has like hashtag next steps, but there's no curly brace like this around it. This means that the AI, if it was using this blueprint, would likely, it's not guaranteed, but would likely just write an H2 heading here, just titled next steps, and then the content under that would be a call to action in a compelling way. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and copy this blueprint here. And I'll go to my blueprints area and let's see, let's just create a new one. And I'll call this final short form blueprint. Okay, and I'll just paste that content into here and save this. And then if we go back into our action, the generate short blog post action, and I go to the stream prompt here. Down here we have this use blueprint toggle, so I'll turn this on, and then I'll pick that final short form blueprint. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll close this out again. So you can see that like the formatting that we have here kind of looks something like this. What I'll do is I'll just go ahead and remove this content, and we'll go ahead and run this action one more time. So we'll say pineapple on pizza is the best topping. And target audience are pizza lovers who dislike pineapple. The main message, I know everyone is against me, but I enjoy pineapple on pizza. Call to action is just try it, and let's go. So what's going to happen, we're going to get our similar outline. It's probably not going to be too much different. It's just similar inputs. Okay, so that's good to go. We'll hit continue. Now it's going to start writing, but this time it's going to follow our format that we established in the blueprint. And so here we go. We got our sections that are being created. So we asked it to do that in our blueprint. If we go into here, so we have sections. Yeah. And it says write 2 or 3 paragraphs. And so here we're getting our 2 or 3 paragraphs per section. And we get our conclusion. And then we get our next steps. So what that blueprint does is it gives us a combination of abilities. It gives us the ability to set the formatting because we have double hashtags and things like that. It also gives us the ability to tell what content should go where, because we have our intro here, we got our title here, sections, the conclusion. And then it also gives us a nice ability to kind of provide more instructional information in that particular part. So like write the main content of the section, right? We can also say incorporating key points and examples, and we can say each section should be 2 to 3 paragraphs. Like we're providing all this extra detail, in a very sort of surgical fashion. We can tell like specifically right here, we want you to write 2 or 3 extra paragraphs, and that's kind of the formatting that we get. So blueprints are a very powerful capability in Chibi, and once you get the hang of them, they can create some really amazing results for you. Let's go ahead and go back to our tutorial here, and let's just finish this off by saying that you don't have to use blueprints. We recommend that after you become comfortable with using actions and getting your prompts set up and stuff, that blueprints become that just really extra bit that just adds that 20% more on top of the already great results you might have been getting. The other thing is that we're this is a tutorial. We're just showing you one way, and we're just kind of giving you prompts to try, but taking this and adjusting it to your style, modify the outline structure if you want to, however it is that you want those prompts to actually perform for you, because each of us are different. That's the beauty of this, is that you now will have a tool that generates these blog posts for you, a nice draft to get you started, and it's yours. It's you can imagine that if we created a blog post tool and it was like a black box tool behind the scenes. You had no idea what was going on. You just filled in your information. You got a blog post out of it. You have zero control over that. Here you have full control. This tool has become yours. Even though you're following our tutorial, if you make all the adjustments and stuff to it, then you're the only person in the world who has that AI tool ready to craft the exact results that you like to publish for your readers. So that's one of the great strengths of this. It becomes reusable there for you to kind of, maybe it took a little extra time to create it, but once you have it, it's a tool that's there for you whenever you need it, kind of thing, right? So I hope you found this video interesting. Hopefully the tutorial works for you. This strategy is pretty effective, but we will be creating more tutorials on different things. And one of them may be how to do longer form blog posts and stuff and still maintain a really good quality result. But if you have any feedback on that, feel free to drop down in the comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're in Chibi following along and you need some assistance, hit us up in the Discord community and we'll be happy to help you out. Until next time, take care.